Medellin is a city of 2.5 million people that defies the stereotypes left over from the 80s and 90s. It was home to Pablo Escobar and the world's best-known drug cartel. Those days are past. Today, it's a must-visit for anyone considering coming to Colombia. I'm in El Centro, which is exactly what it means. It is the center, as any Latin American city has. And in Medellin's case, it is a bit different. It is the place where you'll see the highest concentration of people, for sure, as you may be able to tell, are just looking around here. But it is not really the place that most foreign visitors automatically come to. That place, that centro, if you will, is poblado. But it would be a mistake not to come to El Centro, otherwise known as Candelaria, here in Medellin. And I know you've heard me speak of Fernando Botero, the famous artist, sculptor of Colombia. He is from Medellin, and one of his many gifts to his native country is a series of gigantic sculptures that populate this plaza, hence its name, Plaza Botero. And I must say, they are quite amazing. It's like an outdoor art museum for the common man. There are those who will tell you that this part of the city is dangerous. And it's true that there are some neighborhoods very close to El Centro that even locals will describe you as sketchy and certainly risky after dark. But I would not let that prevent me from visiting El Centro, especially the area around Plaza Botero, because if you don't, you're missing something. You're missing the passing parade of real Colombianos, not a tourist version of Colombia, but the real thing. And the truth is, people here are extremely accommodating, and they look out for you.
Pito naranja a 2.500 y 3.500.
One of the reasons there's so much foot traffic in El Centro is because it's, well, I guess logically, the major junction point of the two metro rail lines. And not only that, but two stations, San Antonio and Varillo, are very close together here. I'm walking under the Varillo station, and It's really become emblematic of the center of this city because it's not a subway here. It's an elevated system. When you get to the center of the city, you glide by the large buildings at street level in a similar way that I recall in Bangkok or Kuala Lumpur. If you want to dance and don't want to go to a club, no problem in Medellin. Just come to the Plaza Berrio. Colombia likes to call itself the happiest place on earth. I don't know about that, but there seems to be plenty of happiness here.
Another happy place in Medellin is the popular mountaintop retreat of Arvi Park, accessible by public transportation, which is to say, the city's aerial tramway system. I'm all in for a good cable car ride, and I'm eager to find out if this one is as good as advertised.
So we'll see what the view's like in a moment. So we just made a stop at the station Andalusia, and there's one more station stop. Okay, so as it turns out, there are 4 stations, not one. And at the last one, which is where I am now, you transfer to the tourist car. I'm in a nice, comfortable cab with 4 other people, and we're headed to the top. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Jacob.
Está tímido. Suddenly have stopped and are swaying gently back and forth in the middle of nowhere.
Cuando dijeron que iba yo, no dije que paraba. Ahora fue por el viento. Sí, estaba venteando harto. Por eso sí. Mira.
Okay, we're moving again.
No. Seriously. Digo, di mamá, papá.
The perceived danger has passed. the risk of stating the obvious, it's much cooler on top of the mountain. Medellin's elevation is officially just under 5,000 feet, but up here we're at just above 8,000 feet. Medellin is famous for its eternal springtime climate, and yet many of the people I've met on this visit have complained about the weather, saying that it's abnormally warm. In fact, this morning it was 83 degrees when I left the city proper, and humid, so it was a bit unpleasant. If you're hot-natured. Up here, of course, completely different story. In case you're wondering, the trip to Parque Arve is not simply a scenic overlook of the city. You get that. It's on one or the other, both actually, cable car lines that take you to the park. But the park itself is up and over the mountain, and the latter part of the trip involves being above the forest. When you get here, there's a nice forest. There's also a nice tourist complex, just a pleasant place to hang out, or you can take a hike into the forests for a delightful experience.
Sí. Sí, ajá.
Gracias. For my own indulgence, I just can't pass up a cup of fruit drenched in chocolate. Muy excelente. I'm here in Medellin's beautiful botanical garden. More about the music you may be hearing in the background in a minute. This is a gorgeous place featuring over 4,500 species of plants and some 1,000 animal species. There's said to be 157 or so different types of birds. That sanctuary here. You might expect a botanical garden like this to be on the outskirts of the city, maybe next to the zoo or someplace like that, but not here. This garden is in the center of Medellin, and that's purposefully so. It's part of a network, a green belt, if you will, part of a grand design to make the city more environmentally friendly and to provide a corridor for animals between the two mountain ranges that encircle this city. And this, of course, is just part of the overall strategy of city planners here. There's a park nearby that contains something called an eco-arbila. It's a fake tree, but it's purifying 22,000 cubic meters of air per hour to remove carbon dioxide and traffic toxins from the air. It's these kinds of things that have, over the past decade or so, helped Medellin gain a reputation as among the most innovative cities in the world. I don't know if you can very well see it, and I'll explain why. I can't really show it to you in a moment, but there's a wooden mesh structure. It's gigantic. It's behind me. It's called a orquídea, and it collects rainwater and protects the orchids and the butterflies in this garden. Now, the reason I can't get close to it is that the entire perimeter around it within this botanical garden is unfortunately blocked off during this week for, of all things, a private event that is a techno music festival. So there's a break in the techno at the moment. I'm able to speak to you without a lot of music in the background, but it is, in my experience, the first time I've ever encountered a techno music festival in a botanical garden. I don't know if you can see them straight up overhead, but you can certainly hear them, I hope. They are macaws. Two giant birds in a tree about 50 feet over my head. If you come to Medellin, you should by all means stop here in just off the Universidad metro stop at the Botanical Gardens. There's no charge, it's free to all comers, and it's a beautiful place to unwind. In fact, I would say it's an oasis of tranquility, except on those days that there's a techno music concert.
¿Cómo que no? No, ay, me ven arriba, mira cómo te tomé. Al grupo, al grupo. Ay, mándala para rumba, viejo. ¡Woman power! Exacto. No, si se lo vamos a agarrar, no.